Plan is Jackie Chan's first film that he wrote, directed, and starred in, and it can be said to be a peak right from the start. I believe many people have watched this classic film. Perhaps you've forgotten the plot, but seeing those hilarious, iconic scenes, I believe you'll still unconsciously smile. Today, let me take everyone through a review of Jackie Chan's definitive action comedy in a narrated style. Jackie Chan plays Ma Rulong, a water police officer. To deal with the vicious pirate Luo Sanpao, Captain Shi sends him to borrow a batch of weapons from Captain Lu of the Land Police Team 7. Unexpectedly, he faces all kinds of difficulties. It turns out that the water police have been sailing out to hunt Luo Sanpao for years, but they either get their ships overturned by waves or get lost in the Sahara. Although they haven't even seen a single pirate feather, their funds are exhausted, to the point that they are almost unable to pay salaries. Now, the inspector has approved Captain Shi's plan, which greatly displeases Captain Lu of the Land Police Team 7, naturally giving Ma Rulong a hard time. Ma Rulong is not a person who takes insults lightly. He secretly moves Captain 7's glasses onto a chair. When he leaves, Captain 7 sits down heavily, his face suddenly changing as his glasses, his longtime companion, leave him. Before the operation, Ma Rulong and his brothers go to a bar for a gathering. Unexpectedly, Captain Lu Hong Tianxi also brings his subordinates to the bar. Captain Lu mocks the water police, but Ai Hua can't stand it and stands up. It's not that the water police are afraid of Captain Lu, but they have their own way of fighting back. Damao and Tai Bao go on stage and perform a double act. All the water police respond in unison, with Tai Bao getting very close and pouring a bowl of noodles over him. Furious, Captain Lu immediately retaliates, and a fight breaks out. Ma Rulong quickly stops his brothers. He raises his glass to apologize and prevent the situation from escalating. Unexpectedly, the other side secretly kicks out his leg, causing a glass of wine to spill all over Captain Lu. Ma Rulong is unfazed. The glass was already empty, so whether it's the clothes or the person, it makes no difference. Just as he is about to leave, he is stopped by Hong Tianxi, who says the wine also spilled on him. Seeing the captains start fighting, the brothers each take sides. The entire bar's tables, chairs, and benches become weapons. Some pick up table legs, others grab bottles. If anyone tries to mediate now, the outcome will be disastrous. The only good thing about the chaos is that neither side will hit the wrong person, as they are all colleagues. Ma Rulong considers for a moment and throws away the bottle. Seeing this, Hong Tianxi also drops his weapon. Their subordinates also abandon their weapons, and as music plays, a melee begins. Ma Rulong and Hong Tianxi are evenly matched. The younger brothers pick up bottles and eye each other warily. At this moment, patrolling police officers enter. Amid the chaos, only Tai Bao, carrying Italian pasta, searches for police officer 221, with a very clear target. Ma Rulong and Hong Tianxi also become bloodshot, sometimes hurting innocent bystanders. Tai Bao is someone who always seeks revenge. Ma Rulong and Hong Tianxi fight fiercely, with no clear winner, and the scene turns into chaos. Officer Chi and his team arrive and stop the internal fight, arresting all the water police back to the station. Hong Tianxi is his nephew, and the land police are his subordinates, so naturally they are not punished. Captain Shi personally came to recruit people. Ma Rulong and his subordinates looked ashamed, but Captain Shi was equally protective. Plan A proceeds as usual. Before they set out, they gave a routine briefing, and the ceremony ended. The water police lined up and set off, but after just a few steps, continuous explosions were heard from afar, and all the combat ships were destroyed. Plan A ended before it even started. It turned out that Luo Sanpao's subordinate, Li Chuju, had already obtained intelligence from the treacherous merchant Zhou Yongming, which is why he could destroy the ships in advance. Zhou Yongming and Luo Sanpao had reached a cooperation. Only his ships could go to sea without being hijacked. This time, Li Chuju's task was also to ask Zhou Yongming to help procure 100 police guns. Zhou Yongming found such a large order very tricky. He could only ask the notorious thief Zhuo Yifei for help. Zhuo Yifei was about to win several old gamblers' pants off, but he was interrupted by an uninvited guest, which made him very angry. On the police side, because the water police fleet was defeated before it could succeed, the inspector, in anger, disbanded the water police. The inspector sent Captain Shi to raise funds, and the water police officers were merged into the land police under the unified command of Captain Chi. Captain Shi felt very desolate, but had no choice but to have his subordinates change into land police uniforms. Ma Rulong reported to Captain Chi and was naturally challenged and reprimanded. Worse, he sent Hong Tianxi to train the water police, establish a joint water-land operation team, and told Hong Tianxi to definitely make the water police feel the pressure. Tai Bao saw two foreign girls and started whispering with the person next to him, completely ignoring the instructor's instructions. Dazui wanted to avoid training and volunteered to step forward. Before firing a shot, he was so frightened he fainted and was ultimately punished to scrub the toilets. That night, Tai Bao was still talking in his sleep when the assembly call suddenly sounded. A group hurried to the playground, only to find out it was just afraid they would wet the bed. During the day, they were also trained to shower in 10 seconds, which was naturally impossible. The result was a group of strong men holding water buckets in front. When demonstrating the new type of grenade, the instructor used props for the demonstration. After training, they began practical combat missions. Ma Rulong and others arrived at the club but were challenged. Ma Rulong dodged the obstruction with his agility, kicked open the door, and indeed found JackieChan. Instructor Hong carefully listed JackieChan's crimes and was about to arrest him. Unexpectedly, JackieChan spat directly in his face and arrogantly tore up the arrest warrant. Instructor Hong remained very cultured, but was unexpectedly kicked to the ground by JackieChan. The two caused chaos in the club. Although both were strong enough, Dazui and Taibao were only average in martial arts and were quickly knocked out. Although they were outnumbered, they did not fall behind, but the club was left in ruins. At this moment, Zhou Yongming, along with Captain Qi, stopped them from acting because they entered the club without a search warrant. Zhou Yongming outright denied hiding fugitives and said he would report to the inspector. Captain Qi was afraid of taking responsibility and forcibly ordered Ma Rulong to apologize to Zhou Yongming. Ma Rulong refused the order and argued logically, but Captain Qi was firm. In anger, Ma Rulong threw down his police badge, jumped onto the desk, climbed the chandelier, broke through the encirclement, and forcibly entered the second floor into the room. JackieChan was well prepared early on. Under a sneak attack, Ma Rulong fell into a disadvantage. After a fierce battle, Ma Rulong kicked JackieChan down the stairs, and he himself jumped down from the top, an actual fall from that height. The actors are truly risking their lives. Ma Rulong dragged JackieChan in front of everyone, with undeniable evidence, but he himself left the scene without looking back. As soon as he stepped out, he was caught by Zhuo Yifei, who turned out to be a childhood friend. They are equally skilled, but have different ambitions. One became a police officer, the other, a thief. Zhuo Yifei had already taken on Zhou Yongming's job, but he couldn't handle it alone. So he lied that there was a traitor in the police station selling guns to pirates. He proposed they work together, one to eliminate harm for the people, the other to make a quick profit. Ma Rulong, no longer a policeman, had no more reservations and disguised himself as an African to infiltrate the docks that very night. Captain Cheeky was leading his men to exchange guns with the British troops. They tricked everyone into the water, but unexpectedly, Captain Cheeky was a ruthless man. Zhuo Yifei kindly provided him with a swimming ring. They hid the guns inside wood and marked them with red cloth. Zhuo Yifei lied that he would sell the guns at a discount to the revolutionaries. The next day, Ma Rulong tracked the transaction site and found that Zhou Yongming's men were involved. That's when he realized he had been duped. Zhuo Yifei, with Zhou Yongming's men, went to take the guns but found all the wood tied with red cloth. He was momentarily stunned. He knew Ma Rulong was behind it but had no way to deal with it. He could only search piece by piece. The other side thought he had taken the guns, and they started fighting. Zhuo Yifei was skilled in combat, but the other side had guns. At that moment, Captain Shi led the police to block the lumber factory. Zhuo Yifei seized the opportunity to slip away, while Li Chuju and others began chasing him. Meanwhile, Ma Rulong learned from Ai Hua that Captain Cheeky was not a traitor, that the guns were meant to fight pirates. Ai Hua asked him how he found out about the guns. Ma Rulong started lying, claiming he fought his way through enemies and forced a fat man to reveal the location of the guns. Ma Rulong then fled with Ai Hua, but they were eventually caught. They began blaming each other, but that was just their lifelong tacit understanding. With their combined skills, they easily defeated their opponents and escaped. They split up to run, agreeing to meet at the old place. Then Ma Rulong led Ai Hua on a frantic run. No one could escape. He used a puppet to switch clothes with Ai Hua to distract the target, but was quickly recognized. During the escape, they unexpectedly ran into Captain Cheeky, who was patrolling for guns. Captain Cheeky scolded him for neglecting his duties, handcuffed him, and was about to take him back to the police station. But Ma Rulong easily escaped the handcuffs and even stole his bicycle. Next was the classic alleyway bicycle stunt show. As long as there are enough props and complex terrain, no one can match Ma Rulong. One by one, his men were knocked down. But of course, Ma Rulong didn't have an easy ride either. After temporarily shaking off the pursuers, Ma Rulong arrived at the tea house to meet Zhuo Yifei. The two masters are from the same sect. Their opponents are no match for them. Amid the applause of onlookers, the three of them left the tea house together. But as soon as they stepped out, they were surrounded by Zhou Yongming's men. Just as they were about to draw their pistols, Captain Seven and his men arrived at the scene. Ma Rulong quickly threw himself into the trap. He begged Captain Seven to arrest him. Although Captain Seven temporarily saved him, he found the chubby man in front of him somewhat familiar and began to probe. Zhuo Yifei was exposed, and Captain Seven led a team to pursue him. Before leaving, he not only locked Ma Rulong to a flagpole, but also took his keys. Ma Rulong was anxious and desperate. The enemy indeed returned and surrounded him again. After a beating, Ma Rulong could only climb up. Fortunately, this was a square, and the enemy dared not shoot. Ma Rulong successfully climbed the flagpole and leapt into the clock tower. Unexpectedly, Li Chu-kyu was already lying in ambush there. Although his hands were chained, Ma Rulong, skilled with gadgets, was unable to deal with him for a moment. Li Chu-kyu had no choice but to swing a large hammer, but ended up injured himself. Ma Rulong was caught in a gear lock, and the hammer was stuck in the machinery. While they were stalemated, teammates arrived. Li Chu-kyu was shot in the head, and Ma Rulong seized the opportunity to escape from the clock tower. As he was working high above, trying to escape, the enemy kicked open the clock face. Ma Rulong could only hold onto the hands and struggle for survival. The enemy pulled out a pistol, ready to finish him off. Ma Rulong closed his eyes, waiting for death. But after the gunshot, it was the enemy who was shot in the forehead. It turned out that Ai Hua had called Hong Tianchi. Meanwhile, to protect Hong Kong's trade, Britain sent a major general to deal with Luo Sanpao. But Luo Sanpao was robbed on the way. Luo Sanpao was also a connoisseur of pirates. Inspector held a meeting to discuss plans to rescue the major general, while secretly approaching Zhou Yongming. He hoped to exchange interests to ransom the major general. Ma Rulong originally wanted to eavesdrop on the water police's plans, but coincidentally witnessed this scene. Just as he was about to leave, he was caught by the inspector. The inspector was relentless, and Ma Rulong decided to give up and curse him out, accusing the inspector of colluding with treacherous merchants and pirates to protect his own position, completely ignoring the lives of Hong Kong's people. The inspector was speechless and said he had no way out. Ma Rulong said, "If we can't fight force with force, can't we outsmart them?" The inspector then handed this difficult problem over to Ma Rulong, asking him to rebuild the water police, restart Plan A, and lead the special forces to rescue the Navy Major General. The flag of the water police was raised again, and Captain Shiri couldn't help but shed tears. At night, Ai Hua used her beauty to seduce Zhou Yongming. Zhou Yongming was so infatuated that he couldn't resist and started making moves in the carriage. His subordinates, hearing the carriage shake, hurried to check. Dazui used the excuse of going to the bathroom to stop the carriage side by side. Ma Rulong seized the opportunity to sneak in and beat Zhou Yongming mercilessly. Zhou Yongming was thus quietly kidnapped without anyone noticing. Ma Rulong and Hong Tianchi played good cop and bad cop. They interrogated Zhou Yongming thoroughly. Under threats and inducements, Zhou Yongming finally revealed his contact with Luo Sanpao. Ma Rulong disguised himself and arrived at the dock. He and Luo Sanpao's men exchanged secret signals. He brought guns and fine wine as gifts and headed to the pirate base. Ma Rulong recorded the route along the way and used a carrier pigeon from his hat to communicate with his team. Unexpectedly, he encountered Zhuo Yifei in the cabin. Zhuo Yifei also didn't expect this. He only wanted to gain some benefits on Zhou Yongming's ship, but Zhou Yongming had turned into Ma Rulong. The two agreed, save people, loot valuables, without interfering with each other. Ma Rulong successfully landed on the island and met Luo Sanpao. However, Luo Sanpao had never seen Zhou Yongming. Ma Rulong proposed that the police wanted to exchange hostages for guns, but Luo Sanpao said, "Leave the guns, and people won't be released." He then ordered his men to take Ma Rulong back to his room to wait for his 35th birthday celebration at night, and warned him that the island was dangerous and to stay put. Ma Rulong wouldn't stay quietly in the room. Hong Tianchi had already led his team onto the island. They needed to meet and exchange intelligence. Ma Rulong encountered guards and was asked for the password. Naturally, he didn't know it. After knocking out the guard with a punch, he changed into a pirate's outfit. Meanwhile, Hong Tianchi also encountered guards and was asked for the password. He knocked out the guard and changed into a pirate's outfit, just in time to meet Zhuo Yifei, returning loaded with treasures. Ma Rulong found Tai Bao and learned that Hong Tianchi was looking for him, realizing he had made a mistake. Hong Tianchi woke up confused, just in time to meet a guard. He knocked out the guard and asked for the password, then turned around to see Ma Rulong and Dazui approaching. Zhuo Yifei loaded the treasure onto the ship happily and ran away. Meanwhile, Ma Rulong, with Hong Tianchi and Dazui, performed the 1,000-hand guanyin. After knocking out the guards, they successfully rescued the hostage. Then Ma Rulong went to a banquet to delay time. He used a gold watch as a bet and challenged Luo Sanpao's men to an arm wrestling match. Hong Tianchi successfully escaped with the hostage. On the other side, Zhuo Yifei saw Li Chuju return to the island. Li Chuju's survival was an accident. As long as he identified himself on the island, Ma Rulong would definitely die. Between the hard-earned treasure and his brother, Zhuo Yifei chose his brother at the critical moment. On the way back, they coincidentally met Hong Tianchi and his team. Hong Tianchi, Dazui, and Zhuo Yifei went back to rescue the people, instructing Tai Bao to escort the hostage away. If they didn't return in time, they would blow up the pirate ship. Ma Rulong was also shocked to see Li Chuju alive. Fortunately, he quickly thought of a plan and spoke first. Just then, Zhuo Yifei entered. Li Chuju, trying to prove his innocence, rushed toward Hong Tianchi, but was shot and killed. Then the chaos began. The pirates were numerous and powerful. Hong Tianqi ordered Dazui to blow up all the exits to prevent most of the pirates from supporting them. Seeing Hong Tianqi struggling alone, Ma Rulong also dropped his disguise. Unexpectedly, Luo Sanpao was extremely powerful. Together, they were no match for him. Meanwhile, Zhuo Yifei tried to escape, but wherever he ran, Dazui shot him down. Seeing all the exits destroyed, he could only join the fight and first deal with Luo Sanpao. 2 warriors plus a heavily armored brute, and the battle situation immediately turned around. In the end, Zhuo Yifei, holding Luo Sanpao, rolled into the carpet. His big mouth didn't hesitate to throw a grenade inside, completely ignoring the fat man's life or death. Fortunately, Ma Rulong pulled him out in time, narrowly escaping danger. As for Luo Sanpao, he was reduced to ashes in the explosion.